All right, Unit 11 vocab. Here we go. The first word is peculate. It is a verb, so it's something that a noun does, and it means to embezzle or steal money, especially public funds. So you would say the lawyer peculated the public money so that the town couldn't afford to get a new library. You would not peculate or steal, right, which would be a synonym. You wouldn't peculate a fry from your friend's lunch, okay? So peculate is only to steal money, especially if it has to do with the government or money collected because of taxes. Palpable. This word is palpable, and it's an adjective, and it means a feeling so intense that you can feel it. Again, it's an adjective, so you're going to describe nouns as palpable. So it's a feeling so intense that you can feel it. A good synonym might be noticeable. So, for example, in this picture, the tension between the two politicians might be palpable. It's so intense you can feel it. You can't literally feel it, but you can feel that it is so tense, like in the air. You wouldn't pick up, I don't know, a teddy bear and say, like, the softness of this teddy bear is palpable. Megalomania, it's a noun. So it's a person, and it is someone who is obsessed with power, especially dominating others. A lot of the heroes in Watchmen, especially Adrian, was known for his megalomania. Some good synonyms are delusion of grandeur. This is a negatively toned word, okay? You would not also use this to describe a person. This would be the person. So you wouldn't say the megalomania character. You would say the character was known for his megalomania, being so obsessed with power. Next word is masochist. It is a noun, and it means a person who enjoys painful or tedious activities. So again, masochist is a noun, so it's a person. It's always going to be a person. And it is a person who enjoys painful or tedious activities. So for example, in this picture, a lot of times if you like working out a lot, it hurts to work out, but people will say like, oh, why are you such a masochist? Because working out hurts, but you enjoy it. So you would be considered a masochist, okay? A person who enjoys painful or tedious activities. Knell. It is a noun and a verb. And this is not really a word we see too often. We'll see it in Macbeth, but it's definitely an older word. In the noun sense, it's the sound of a bell. This should be easy to remember. Knell, bell, okay? It is the sound of a bell, like the knell woke me up this morning. If you're using it as a verb, it is the ringing of a bell. So the bell knelled into the night, okay? Irresolute. It is an adjective, and it means showing or feeling hesitancy. A good synonym might be uncertain. She stood irresolute outside of his door. You can't make a decision, and it's going to be a person usually. So you would be irresolute maybe about college. You're not sure of which college to go to, for example. So again, this irresolute describes a noun, most often a person not being able to make a choice, uncertain. The next word is jocund. It is an adjective, and it means cheerful, like you can see in this picture here. So it's an adjective, so it describes nouns. So here, jocund is describing the noun party. Okay, so a good synonym again might be lighthearted. Jocund, joke. That should make it easy. Positively toned word, obviously. Insurgent. Insurgent is a noun and an adjective, and in its noun form, it means a rebel or revolutionary. In its adjective form, it means rising in active revolt. So if you look in the adjective form, it says insurgent groups. It's describing the groups who are rising in active revolt. If you want to say it as a noun, you use it as a noun, you would say an attack by armed insurgents, because their insurgents are the revolutionaries. Okay. Insurgents are a negatively toned word. There's always this sense of violence that comes with it. It's not a positively toned thing. Like, oh, we went down to protest, at this women's march. It's not like that. Insurgents, again, it's a level, they were rebelling in a violent, deadly way. Infirmity. It is a noun and it means physical or mental weakness. Oftentimes, this has to do with old age. You hear this usually, I'd say 90% of the time, connected to older people. Old age and infirmity come to men and women alike. So it's a noun. It's something that older people or sick people have, an infirmity. So an infirmity might keep you from traveling the world, for example. Imperial. This should be easy to remember. Imperial empire, imperial empire. It's an adjective, so it describes nouns. So here it means relating to an empire. So Britain's imperial error, royal error. So if you were to say, again, I'm going to use Watchmen as an example, Adrian's imperial lair, like the pyramid towards the end, it's his royal lair, is his royal secret hideout. Ignoble. It's an adjective and it means not honorable in character or purpose. Ignoble feelings of intense jealousy. So it describes the feelings. It's the opposite of being noble, if that helps you, right? So, for example, again, in Watchmen, in the end, Rorschach died because he felt it would be ignoble to just pretend like Adrian didn't cause the whole thing. Heinous, heinous. It is an adjective and it is of a person or wrongful act, especially a crime, utterly odious or wicked. Heinous. You would say like a heinous crime being the noun there. So, you really wouldn't call a person heinous. You would call what they do as heinous. So you might have found the moment when Rorschach kills the child molester and towards the middle of the book, you might have found that to be a heinous moment or a heinous act. But for Rorschach, he felt like it was necessary. Heathen. It is a noun, definitely a negatively toned word. Don't mix up heinous and heathen, okay? Different parts of speech. A heathen can commit some heinous acts for sure. But heathen is a noun and it means a person who does not belong to a widely held religion, especially one who is not a Christian, Jew, or Muslim. So this usually you don't see this much outside of when Christians are referring to people who are not Christian. So you say like, oh, they're heathen beliefs. They're, like for Buddhists, for example, they don't really worship a god. So Christians might say, oh, Buddhists are heathens because they don't worship a god, and they should. Harbinger. Harbinger. It's a noun. It's a person or thing that announces or signals the approach of another. So, for example, the witch hazels, those are plants, are the harbingers of spring. They're letting you know spring is coming. Another good example of this might be, the end of the marking period is coming when Ms. Giddens becomes the harbinger of the marking period. She gets on the announcements and says that, hey, the marking period's almost over. It's a person or thing that lets you know something is going to happen next. Foil. It is a verb and a noun. In its verb sense, it is to prevent something wrong from happening. So you would foil someone's plans. Again, these just happen to work out really well with Watchmen. Rorschach, for most of the book, was trying to foil Adrian's plans, even though he didn't know it was Adrian till the end. He was trying to foil or prevent what he was doing from succeeding. In the noun sense, this has to do in the literary world, you would call characters that are opposite of each other foils. So SpongeBob and Squidward would be foils. Dan and Rorschach, they would be foils. They are in a lot of ways opposites. Fortuitous. It is an adjective, and it means happening by accident or chance rather than design. Fortune, fortuitous. Fortune, fortuitous. It happens by chance, and it's positive. Okay. I'd say all the time. Fortuitous is a happy accident. It is a fortuitous discovery, a fortuitous accident, a fortuitous, I don't know, meeting. Okay. It happened by chance and it turned out to be good. The next word is flout. Flout. You see it in the sentence here, F-L-O-U-T, flout. And it is a verb, and it means to openly disregard a rule or a law. You flout it, okay? A good synonym would be to defy. It is a negatively toned word, usually. And here, the companies are flouting practices. It's like open disregard of laws, right? So the heroes in Watchmen started to flout a lot of the rules, a lot of laws in order to keep order. Filch. This is a verb, and it means to pilfer or steal. This is not the same as the first word that we had here. This word means to pilfer or steal. It doesn't have to be money. And it means in a casual way also. It's something small in a casual way. So I was promptly accused of filching Mr. Murr's idea to steal, to take. So you might filch, I tend to filch paper clips from the library. I take little tiny things, in a casual way. You wouldn't filch somebody's car. Okay, you would filch something small that they probably wouldn't notice. Next word is expiate. E-X-P-I-A-T-E. Expiate. It means to atone for, and some synonyms would be to make amends for. Their sins must be expiated by sacrifice. You did something wrong and you're hoping to expiate your sins. So in Watchmen, when the comedian was in Malek's bedroom and he was crying, he was hoping to expiate some of his sins. You could tell I'm still at work. Exculpate. Exculpate. It is a verb, so it's something a noun does, and it means to show or declare that someone is not guilty of wrongdoing. The article exculpated the mayor. It shows that someone is not guilty of something that they did. You would hope that if you got in trouble, somebody would exculpate you or say that it wasn't your fault for doing whatever it was you got in trouble for. Okay, that's it. One more vocab unit to go.